But let's go with a fictitious name if you like.
Okay,
What's
Jonathan.
I've got Jonathan on board, who is a music maestro, and music is what makes the world a more pleasant place to live, right?
Absolutely.
What got you into music?
I think that the love of life got me into it.
The love of life. Well, you sound like a fantastic person.
You're very kind.
And did you go to school and learn music in school?
Yes, I studied it empirically and at school, but mostly I focused on being on the other side of the glass.
Uh-huh.
So
Right.
basically, that's been my main focus over the years, to help other artists and to help other people achieve their vision, their artistical vision, and at the same time be able to inspire people through that music and through those projects that I get to work on, so that their lives can become better, basically.
Well, you're going to love this. I figured the way for this movement to go viral and to go around the world, it's in 40, like I say, in 41 countries now, is through music. And we are working on some concerts right now. I've been asked to be on the stage at the Rose Bowl of the Lady Gaga concert,
Oh, that's awesome.
if they're able to pull that off in November,
That's awesome.
which would be fantastic.
Congratulations.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, but it's, you think, positive thinking manifests
Of course,
positive
you just
action.
got to project those thoughts forward.
You got to manifest
They'll
and project.
manifest.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So that if it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter, because on my board we have enough talent and people who've done Live Aid and Farm Aid and produce Academy Award shows. We have them on our board, and we have the financing being lined up, and we're going to produce our own concerts.
Great.
So whether I'm part of that one or not, we're going to do reggae, we're going to do festivals, all kind of fun stuff, and that's the way to make the movement known, because everyone needs to be like you, and everyone needs to be kind to one another, and to follow your passion,
I agree with you. It's we're living through very difficult times right now, and it's the unity and the understanding of each other, because we all come from different places, but we all want the same things. We all have common yearnings, if you would. It's just that we all think of different ways, of different roads of getting to that final destination. And if we're more empathetic to each other, then we'll be able to, pull resources from one another and achieve that grand goal that we all yearn for.
and be accountable.
Absolutely.
That's the problem with the crowd right now, is that because they don't know us, we don't exist to them. We're just an impediment in their way, and that's not how it should be.
No.
Let people in front of you. It takes 2 seconds.
Well, it's just basic courtesy. It's what we were talking about
Be
earlier.
courteous.
It's basic civility.
Civility. I love that word, and I love it to start to be important today. Unfortunately, they throw it out because it's, they don't, it's this breeding. Well, they call it a rat race, the big cities, and they call it dog eat dog world.
But it doesn't have to be that way.
That's exactly my point.
I went to New York about 6 months ago, and I was deeply impressed about the general civility of people over there. And mind you, in Manhattan, we have a density of population which is so great that that's the only way that they figured out that they could survive. Now, granted, obviously there's, reckless driving, and there's people who are not considerate.
A lot of horn
other
honking.
people. But in general, I got a sense that city was definitely going, was headed in the right direction.
You know why? I've made 3 or 4 people fantastic out of New York so far.
Oh, wow.
And they say, a lot of New Yorkers say, there's no way it's going to work in New York, being fantastic. But it's working, obviously. You're hearing it, so.
No, and I got to witness it.
You have to witness it.
Yes, absolutely.
That's fantastic. I mean, when you think of it, the cities like New York and more overseas, where they actually have people that will push you into the mode of transportation. Physically, you have to push you to pack them in, like sardines, right?
Absolutely.
And
but
and
that's
then
the only way that that you can truly be able to survive, because we all need personal space. We all need basic things in order to survive. And if those things start, if we start being deprived of those things, then we really have to center on our rationale in looking for ways to be able to sustain our livelihood and also support other, other people that are, that are living just like we are.
How did you get so smart?
I guess I'm very observant. I tend to be very
Well, you
quiet.
have a few years under your belt.
Yes, I do.
That helps.
Yes, sir.
And you're just hitting all the notes that I love to hear. Speaking of music, you're saying all the right things that are. I wish everyone could think like that. And it's my mission to get more people introduced to that thinking. And with your help, you said yes to the interview.
Absolutely.
You're camera shy, which is nothing wrong with that. It's nice to see all the beautiful traffic in LA, But you're saying
it's part of our environment.
It's
And we make the most out of it.
Let me answer this question. I love that I pose this question. Why do you think most people are upset in traffic like this right now?
I believe that people are upset in general is because they carry a burden on their shoulders and they don't know how to undo that.
Okay. Now that's society's burden. I'm talking about traffic now. Let's focus on traffic. Why do you think they're upset right now in this traffic jam?
Well, there's a lot of factors. There's some, it's very hot outside to begin with. If they don't have air conditioning, then they're going to be miserable
Okay.
in that cabin.
Okay.
Probably they're running late.
That's
because
it.
They're multitasking.
That's it.
They're multitasking so much. And again, it ties in with what I was saying earlier, that basically they've taken on so many responsibilities that they basically just they're carrying this weight on their shoulders, and it's just too much, obviously.
And you answered it perfectly because they're late, and they're blaming the traffic.
Correct.
But they're late. It's their fault. I hate to throw fault on things, but that we're a whole blame society.
But also let's remember that all of these freeways were designed in the 1950s, 1945.
Right.
Where the population was just it was 3/4 less than what it is right now.
Remember Back to the Future, the movie?
Yes.
And they had that line where they said, freeway, it'll just be a road where you just fly down the road.
Absolutely. And the car is just taking off.
Now, I interviewed a guy recently, and he's in charge of, it wasn't recent, a couple months ago, of designing the rules for the sky for flying taxis.
No kidding.
That's
so
his
they
job.
are already planning.
They got a plan for the routes. Now, remember the Jetsons?
Yes, of course.
Where they had this in the sky? That's not going to happen. That is one thing. They're going to fly in the sky, as they already are.
Okay.
There's dozens of vehicles. I've researched
the thing
it.
that concerns me about that, for instance, are the noise pollution that we're going to get from drones.
Yes.
And those are coming. Because Amazon
they certainly are.
is pushing so hard on that people don't realize how badly that's going to wreck our nerves.
Well, get this.
As a music person and as a sound person,
right?
I can tell you I'm very sensitive to sound.
Yes, I'm sure
and to all of the things that are going on the environment. But to constantly hear this bzzz,
well, here's worse. I'm going to give you some really bad news. In the future, there will be lanes like this, like I'm saying, for like the Jetsons.
Correct.
Because they're going to fly as the crow flies from the shortest point from A to B. So, but they won't be controlled by humans.
Right.
They'll be controlled by computers. Correct. So you're going to see a beehive of activity up there, and they're never going to crash because they're going to know where every other object is.
I understand.
And it's just going to be a beehive of activity. And I didn't think about it until just now. The noise factor.
Oh my God, it's
it's going to be a hum above you.
Right now, as I when I walk out of my place and I have a park nearby, and sometimes I can hear guys playing with drones, and I can hear them from a distance.
And those are
that's
small.
just one.
Those are small ones too.
Yeah, you're right. Because the ones carrying packages, you can
or
imagine.
people. There's at least a dozen vehicles that carry people now, and they're autonomous.
I did not know.
Yeah, in Dubai they're doing it quite often. Next year they'll have flying taxis, autonomous, in Dubai, and they're going to be noisy.
Well, the problem,
unless they do anti-gravity. Once they hit anti-gravity and we master that, it'll be a lot more silent.
But AI still hasn't been perfected to the point that they can foresee what kind of problems they're going to be having in the future.
No, of course not. And then they're actually putting laws on AI because they already know that if it takes over, we're screwed.
Oh, absolutely.
Dr. Fantastic is here today, and all he wants you to do is say, I'm fantastic, and that you will be. I'm fantastic, yeah, that's me.
We are fantastic.
I am fantastic.
I am fantastic.
I am fantastic.
We are fantastic. I'm fantastic.
I am fantastic.
I am fantastic. I am fantastic.
I am fantastic.
And how are you guys tonight?
We're so fantastic. We're fantastic.